While the bleached skull itself would seem common, the vision that appears when touching it is anything but. That of a dark castle and eyes of flame. As soon as Argonus moves the stone to the temple, the room falters and everything goes dim. The Argo, built by Argus of Crete, brought to ruin by the song of sirens, beached by the hand of a sailor. The Argo, built by Argus of Crete, brought to ruin by the song of sirens, beached by the hand of a sailor. The snow-white owl is beautiful and strangely comforting as well. This statue is of Minos, a semblance of Pasiphae, the immortal daughter of the sun god Helios, guards the entrance into this mountain.
I am a fool, wandering in a desert, muttering words of salvation and revenge through parched lips. Blindly I flailed about, searching for the blight that has overcome so many, and while each piece of the puzzle led me to water, I simply refused to drink. The Lord Poseidon himself revealed the first, when he spoke of the son of Danae and of Zeus. And while I knew this to be Perseus, I failed to recognize Poseidon's anguish was not bound to the death of his servants, but rather his lover, Medusa. Then the twin Gorgons, whom I had seen in a great vision, while protected from the effects of their dreadful gaze by the eye of the Grey Eye. Did repentant Euryale not say that she wished to mourn her sister in peace? It is now obvious that she spoke of dread Medusa, a woman that legend reveals fair Athena once cursed to wear a brow of vipers and turn men to stone. The goddess herself, when first met, readily admitted her hand stirred the waters of spite and vengeance. Now I see clearly that this sailor must do more than prevent the death of his shipmates. I must stop this dread ripple from becoming such a great wave as to pour on Hades' realm and drown all I hold dear. No one would fault the sailor if I were to recount, at great length and with great detail, the clash of the magnificent winged creatures I have just borne witness. For surely, even a novice storyteller could lift and embellish the battle for Hephaestus' gold with great plum and ardor. Nor shall I speak at great length about the god of the forge himself, although I would be remiss if I did not mention the great gift granted this sailor, a golden torch of unquenchable fire. I shall instead speak plainly on the thing that begs to be brought from shadow into light, the very nature of the gods themselves. I possess neither need nor desire to debate their existence, for I have received both mercy from their hands and been found wanting in their sight. No, it is not their divinity I question. It is their motives. Why would those who rule on high choose to inhabit stone visages on an uncharted isle? Why intercede with a simple sailor, graciously offering burden and blessing in equal portion? While these queries shall assail sleepless nights long after I depart these shores, one chilling question cannot be ignored. What unseen power do these Gorgons possess that even the gods would fear? Let it be known that while I did not sail with the Phoenician prince Cadmus, I knew one other who sowed the teeth of a dragon. Jason, hero of the Argo and burglar of the Golden Fleece. At a shallow fount, tall stones set about, and a great tree at its head, I stood, the teeth of the mighty Hydra within my palm. With the goddess's words in my ears, I raised my hand and cast my prize into the shallow waters. I thought myself prepared, yet amazement and fear welled within my breast, gripping my heart. Skeletal foot soldiers, their polished shields bearing the Hydra's mark, rose from the earth and looked to the trees, whose great boughs bore the weight of the Harpies, foul beasts who desecrate and destroy. But they were no match for the children of the Hydra. With sword and spear, the dogs of Zeus were driven from the fair glade and into gray skies high above. And so, by my hand, the grove of the goddess Hera was made pure once again. Not once, either within dream or vision, did this sailor of broad seas and salted winds foresee such a thing. Under a foreboding sky, my burdens were lifted for a heartbeat, carried aloft upon snow-white wings. Though his form I had never before beheld, nor was the beast yet ascribed to legend, a name entered my mind. Whether granted by god or goddess, I know not. Only a name, Pegasus. But should I find such soundless words curious? No, for this isle does not keep its secrets close, but displays them in such a fashion to make my forebears weep with envy. Upon these wide sands, and beneath its dark shadows, wonders both fair and foul are commonplace, each fighting to fetter my heart with chains of great hope or utter despair. Shall either exalt in triumph? This I cannot say, for while I soar above gray clouds on one glorious winged stallion, there are a score of dead men below, pulling at my soul, crying out for vengeance. Whatever has passed, and whatever lies before me, I shall never forget the commission laid upon my shoulders by the Queen of the Gods herself. The marvel of Hera's appearance alone would have rendered this simple man dumbstruck, if not for the tales told to me by trusted Argonus. For I have sailed with men who consorted with gods long before my sandaled foot touched bewitched sand. They have set tall sails on dark rising swells that no other ship has traversed. They have gazed over wooden bulwarks at impossible sights and have seen the dust of vast armies hide the sun. Under starry skies I stood, beneath hero Jason's shadow, listening to their stories, fashioning maps of isles that guarded primordial treasures, archiving grand quests steeped in truth and bound tales to rival those told in the halls of my fathers. But those things are beyond me now. Mighty Argo rests forever upon a strange shore, her keel shattered, her memories carried aloft by dark waves and lost to boundless waters. Enough, for today is ripe with troubles of its own. If the gods wish to make themselves known to a simple sailor, to call upon me with great labors, I shall be at the ready and face them as my brothers did, as an Argonaut.
This stone is bereft of markings, offering no explanation for the small depressions set into its surface. The yellow light it emits is curious. Once the stone is held within the light, the world around Argonus wavers. Safe within his grasp, Argonus touches the stone to the temple. The world about him suddenly begins to dissipate. A few moments after the stone touches the light, the world around Argonus begins to swim. Safe within his grasp, Argonus touches the stone to the temple. The world about him suddenly begins to dissipate. The stone is suspended in the light but for a moment before the world fades from sight. Though some features on this sculpture are difficult to discern, taken in its entirety, it is not. 'Tis a stone map of this very isle. As soon as Argonus moves the stone to the temple, the room falters and everything goes dim. The hull of this ship has been crushed. Whether this was the result of sharp rocks is unclear. This grand statue would be easily recognized by any man. 'Tis the god Apollo. Once the stone is held within the light, the world around Argonus wavers. As soon as Argonus moves the stone to the temple, the room falters and everything goes dim. A few moments after the stone touches the light, the world around Argonus begins to swim. Safe within his grasp, Argonus touches the stone to the temple. The world about him suddenly begins to dissipate. A few moments after the stone touches the light, the world around Argonus begins to swim. If the size of this gold-tipped horn is indicative of the animal from whence it came, the beast must have been enormous indeed. Surprisingly, the strings still produce a remarkable sound, pleasing to the ears of both men and gods. Surprisingly, the strings still produce a remarkable sound, pleasing to the ears of both men and gods.